Okay, hey guys, Halsweir, I'm back and I'm bringing you, as promised, my tutorial on how to make the Galil. Now, you saw in my previous video, if you watched it, my blue camo Galil, and this one is the one I'm about to show you to make, because I'm shooting this video now of what you need after I actually made that gun. So, what you need is a roll of masking tape, a craft knife, be careful because these can cut you, they're very sharp. Scissors, again be careful. A 1.5 centimeter wide tube for the barrel. If you don't have that, there is an alternate way of making the barrel just by using cardboard and masking tape, which I show you later on in the video. A wooden skewer for the trigger, a rubber band also for the trigger, hot glue gun, be careful, these are hot. A lot of glue sticks, a 1-inch thick tube, this is for a cylinder cap that goes on top of the gun, and a shitload of cardboard. So that's everything you need. Now I will start by telling you what you need to do first. Okay, so the Galil is made up of 12 different parts. The stock, which is that piece right there. A little cylinder cap bit which goes on the top of the gun there, that black piece. These two pieces here which make this round top barrel. This square which goes right here, you can just see the outline. This piece which goes in between the barrel and the upper barrel. The trigger, obviously. The rear sight, the front sight, the barrel. This piece is the foregrip, which is that piece there. Magazine, obviously, and the body, the main body of the gun. So that's all the parts. So we're going to start with the front of the gun and work our way backwards. So I'll run you through making the barrel first. Now for the barrel I used a 1.5 centimeter wide tube, and it is 16 centimeters long. And if you don't have a tube like that, you can just make a rectangle 16 by 1, and then another one 16 by 0.8. You cut them out, cut this one, the 0.8 one, in half, glue them on either side of that to make a cross piece like this. Then you wrap it around with masking tape so it creates a round barrel. However, the reason I have this is because I use this to make the top upper cylinder piece, but I use the tube to make the actual barrel. Okay, so the barrel, you want to get this tube or your cross piece. You want to wrap tape around so it looks like this. Then you want to wrap masking tape around here and here to make these pieces thicker, like that and that, like so. And in case you didn't catch it before, the barrel needs to be 16 centimeters long and 1 to 1.5 centimeters width. So that's the barrel done. Next, you want to draw a piece like this, 3 centimeters across, 1 centimeter up. Doesn't have to be perfect, but try and get it as close to that size as you can, and the same shape as I've done. Now this piece goes in there, in between the two barrels. So you need to draw one of those, cut it out, and draw around it another 4 times, and cut those out so you have 5 in total. Then you want to glue them together so you get this. Next, we're going to be making this piece here, and for that piece you need to draw a rectangle like this and like this. One needs to be 16 centimeters by 1 centimeter, and the other needs to be 16 by 0.8. It's crucial to have 0.2 mil yeah, 2mm, sorry, smaller than this one, because the cardboard is 2mm width. So when you turn it over and you stick it on here, if you don't have the 2mm cut out and you just do 1 centimeters and then cut that one in half and stick it on, your thing won't make a round. Your barrel will end up being oval instead. So cut these out like so, and cut the 0.81 in half, and then once you got that, you want to stick them on the sides of that one to make a cross like so. Then you want to wrap this piece in tape to create a round cylinder. Once you've done that, it should look something like this. Now that that's done, I'm going to move on to show you the foregrip. You can also make your barrel like this if you don't have a tube, like I said earlier on in the video. So just follow the steps I showed you and you'll be able to make both barrels that way. Now to make the foregrip, you need to draw a rectangle 11 centimeters across and 5 centimeters up. Cut this shape out, draw around it another 4 times so you got 5 in total, and glue them all together. Here's my 5 rectangles. Now I'm going to glue them together. So once you've glued them all together, you should get a shape like this. Now you want to wrap this completely in masking tape, like so. Next, I'm going to show you how to make the main body. Now to make the main body of the Galil, you need to draw this shape using these measurements. Now I'm going to leave this on screen for a while because it's a lot of measurements to take in. But this piece here needs to be 18 centimeters long, 5 centimeters, 4, 2.5, 6, 5, 9 along that curve, 3, 2 down there approximately, and make this little piece here a bit longer. You'll see why afterwards. 8 centimeters and then 4.5. So I'll just leave that on screen for a few seconds to let you take it in. Now once you've got that shape drawn up, you want to cut round it, draw around it another 4 times and then cut them all out, but don't glue them together yet. So there's my 5 shapes cut out. If you notice, I've cut a little slit out of each one of those little bits I told you to make a bit longer, and that's for that piece there. That's actually the magazine release, but it doesn't actually work, it's just for looks. Now once you've got your 5 pieces, you need to draw some extra things on 3 of them, and I'll show you that now. So you want 3, and you want to draw these lines on it, like so. Now you want to draw this on all 3, and then cut the slots out like so. The reason for this is that slot's for the magazine to go in, obviously, and this is how you make your working trigger, which I'll show you in a bit. Now the reason you don't cut out the extra 2 is because these 2 go on the outside of these 3 to hide the gaps, so it makes a full gun like that. Now you want to glue these 3 together so you get this. Next you want to draw a shape like this, the size of an average trigger. Doesn't really matter, whatever size you want your trigger really. Cut it out, draw around it another twice so you have 3 in total. Cut them all out and stick them all together. Once you've stuck them all together, it should look something like this, obviously besides the hole. So next you need to do the hole. Do that using your craft knife or another sharp object so you can pass your skewer through it. Next you want to cut a piece of your elastic band about 1 inch long and stick it on the top of the trigger on this piece here, like so. Next you want to glue this piece of the elastic band inside here on your main body, like so. So at the moment your trigger is just dangling down here, but we'll sort that out now. Next you want to lay out one of your complete main bodies, put this piece on, line your trigger up forwards at the front, then you want to mark the hole on it so there'll be a mark here, then make the hole so the skewer can go into it, and do that for both sides. So once you've got your trigger in place, glued in with the rubber band and the hole through it, and these two with the hole through in the right place, you want to put this one here and onto there, and then get your skewer lined up through the trigger. I'll do that now to show you. Now that the skewer is in place, you can test that the trigger works satisfactory. As you can see, it does. And then you want to cut your skewer down so it just fits through the gun so you can't see it. Now that I have my skewer cut to size, you want to put it aside and glue these three together, and then once they are glued, you line your skewer through and glue the skewer in place. Now that I have my main body all put together and glued, I need to put the skewer through and glue it in. This bit can be quite tricky to line up the outer holes with the trigger holes, but you should get it done. I'll show you that now. And there is my skewer in place. So now I'm going to put a dab of glue that side and a dab of glue that side, just to hold it in place. Now that the main body is complete and the trigger is working, I'll move on to show you how to make the magazine. Now to make the magazine, you need to draw a shape like this, which needs to be 18 centimeters long and 5 centimeters across. But it's crucial that you get it this shape, otherwise it won't fit. Now once you have drawn that shape, you want to cut it out, draw around it another twice, so you've got 3 in total, cut them all out so you've got 3 like this, and glue them all together. Once you have glued them together, you should have a magazine like this. So now you want to check that it fits in the gun. And there it is, with the magazine inside. Fits snugly like it should, so it can't fall out. So now we're going to move on to this little square piece here that I showed you earlier that holds on the stock to the main body. So next you want to draw a square like this, 4.5 centimeters across this way and 4 centimeters down this way. Now cut it out, draw around it once more so you have 2 in total, cut the other one out. Don't glue these together because you need 1 on each side, so just keep those shapes aside for now. So you should have 2 like this. Put those aside for now and we'll move on to the stock. Now for the stock, you want to draw it like this, 3 centimeters that way, 22.5 that way, and then 10.5 that way. Try and get it as close to this shape as possible, and once you've done that, cut it out, draw around it another 4 times so you've got 5 in total, cut the others out and glue them all together. Here's my 5, now I'm going to glue them all together. So what you should end up with is something like that. Next, you want to take your 2 squares that you cut out just before, and the longest way needs to be going across horizontally, and you want to glue it on there so the middle meets that line of the stock, and do that for both sides, and you should end up with this. Next you want to glue this part onto your main body, so I'll do that now and show you exactly where to glue it on. Okay, so here's a diagram of the main body again. This part here, where it's 4 centimeters, is where you want to glue the stock, so it looks like this. There's the stock glued on. Okay, so now that's done, next we need to fix the, get this in the light, the upper barrel. Here's the upper barrel. I know it doesn't look very neat, and that's just because the masking tape keeps unpeeling. Now if yours is doing this as well, which it might be, a simple solution is just to take the edge of each strip and put a bit of hot glue there and glue it down, and it'll stay down, which I'm going to do that now to tidy it up a bit. Okay, now that's a bit neater. It doesn't matter too much that these bits are flaking off as well though, because when we paper mache it at the end, it does actually stick everything down and it turns out really neat. So now that this is done, you want to glue that straight on there, like so. I'll do that now. Okay, now that's affixed on there, but at this stage you need to be very careful because that isn't very strong, as it's only held on by that. So next, you want to take your Foregrip, which we made earlier, and you want to glue it right there. So you need to apply glue all the way along here and here, so it sticks in both places. Now that the foregrip is attached and your Galil should look like this, you want to get your barrel and your little in-between piece which goes in between the barrel and the upper barrel. You need to glue this onto there and then glue the real barrel underneath. I'll show you now. And now it should look like this. Now that your Galil is almost complete, all that's left to do is to make your rear sight, front sight, and apply your little cylinder bit on that joint there. So we'll do that now. For your rear sight, you need to draw a shape like this, which is 2 centimeters across and 2 centimeters up. And for your front sight, it needs to be 1 centimeter across here and 2.5 up. Now you only need 1 of these, but you need 5 of these. So if you want to do that now, once you have 5 of those cut out, glue them all together. Now you should have this and this for your front sight. Now you want to apply your rear sight here and your front sight here. So I'm going to do that now. And there you have it, guys. The Galil is finished. There's the rear sight. And if you look down it, so unfortunately I can't do with the camera, but there's the front sight and then there's the cylinder cap that we fitted. So that's finished. You can also add these 2 little caps that I noticed is on the Galil. I just use these really small bottle caps, one just in front of the rear sight and one like sort of on top of the back, right at the front of the stock. There is supposed to be one behind that cylinder, but if you put one there you can't look down the sight, so I didn't put one there. So just to show you, I'm going to apply those caps to our new Galil. And there we have it. Caps are on. The gun is completely finished. And all there is to do really is paper mache and a camo of your choice. And I will be posting a video of how to do that as well, so come back and watch that. Hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!